and call the meeting to order at 7:03 p.m. And I would ask that we all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Sarah, would you please call the roll?
Mercedes Evans is not here. Thomas Fink. Here. Michelle Forbes.
Here.
Jennifer Hoover.
Here.
Tim Jackson.
Here.
Luisa Lasova.
Here.
Emily Smith.
Here.
Alexandra Jackson is not here.
Thank you. Quorum being present, we'll go ahead and proceed with our evening of business. That brings us to our first period of public comment. If there's anyone wishing to offer public comment, please be mindful of the public comment guidance on the back of your agenda, and you may come to the podium, introduce yourself, your address, and please keep your comments to 3 minutes. Is there anyone wishing to offer public comment during this first period? Alrighty, hearing none. That brings us to President's announcements. First, just a few farewell remarks. This is the last meeting for Emily, myself, and Mercedes, who was unable to join us. And we just wanted to share that it's been a privilege to serve on Borough Council. Our time together has brought some moments of joy, some moments of challenge, and some real progress for our community. We're deeply grateful for the trust of our residents, the partnership of our colleagues and fellow council members, and the steady work of our staff, who really do the day in and day out hard work of running our borough every day. So what inspired us to run for office was simple. We had pride in our community and a belief that service matters. And that spirit has guided our work, from listening to problem solving and doing our best to leave Camp Hill a little bit stronger than what we found it. As our terms come to a close, we offer our sincere best wishes to both returning and newly elected members. Camp Hill is in capable hands. And as Council enters 2026, they'll do so with real momentum and clear priorities. And finally, I would encourage everyone to consider giving even a little bit of their time and expertise to help guide the place we call home. Thank you.
Just take a deep breath.
No.
I was going to end that way.
We'll have council remarks at the end, but you know, when you're in the thick of things, you're like, oh my God, 4 years seems so long. Yeah. And then 4 years is over and you go, wait a minute, where did that go? Yeah. So, but we mean that deeply and sincerely. Next, included in your packet this evening, as we did last year, we included a end of the year report and just a few remarks highlighting that, and we will make that available on our website as well. So the 2025 end of year report that we present as a council reflects a borough that is steady, responsive, and moving forward with purpose. Over the past year, we've strengthened staffing, modernized administrative systems, and expanded communications so residents remain informed and connected. We advanced major planning and zoning initiatives and laid the groundwork for the comprehensive plan update. Our sustainability efforts earned a Sustainable PA Bronze certification, and we secured funding for energy and stormwater improvements. Public Works delivered visible progress on sidewalks, ADA ramps, sewer lining, and pedestrian safety, while Public Safety expanded emergency management planning and launched a new police cadet program. We also celebrated the 25th Boxed Lunch program for the 25th year, and we also celebrated the 30th year of the Seabrook Park Day Camp. Community engagement continued to be a defining strength, from downtown partnerships and events to robust recreation programs and award-winning park improvements. Above all, the report highlights the dedication of our staff, volunteers, and community partners. Their work keeps Camp Hill safe, welcoming, and well-run. And to them we say thank you. Okay. Sorry. So now that brings us to, I think, the real reason why some of us are here tonight. With all that out of the way, on a happy note, That brings us to our announcement of the Volunteer of the Year. So I will read some remarks. I will conclude those remarks, and then we will ask our volunteer to come to the front to be recognized and for a photo. So since 2012, Campbell Borough has recognized a resident in the borough for their contributions. This year's Volunteer of the Year winner was nominated because of her groundbreaking work establishing the Free English Language Learners Program in Camp Hill. Through her vision and dedication, the program has engaged over 100 volunteers from the community who are teaching English to borough residents so they can better integrate their lives in Camp Hill and beyond. The program was launched by a donation of resources and volunteer time. The program, which is held at Trinity Lutheran Church, includes free class instruction in addition to childcare. This way, adult learners can focus on content while their kids safely engage with volunteers. Our Volunteer of the Year has worked very hard recruiting other volunteers to ensure there is proper teaching and childcare. This free program is a dedicated resource for borough residents in need that strengthens the fabric of the community. So for all these reasons, we recognize Laura Butcher as this year's recipient of Campbell Borough's Volunteer Award.
Share some information about our program. I'll just take a moment. Good evening. I would just like to thank Camp Hill Borough Council for this incredible honor. As it was mentioned, my name is Laura Butcher, and I am the program director of the English Language Learners Program at Trinity Lutheran Church, which was founded in 2023. I've lived in the borough for over 11 years with my husband and 2 sons who attend Camp Hill schools. I'm deeply grateful for this recognition, and I want to share this award with the extraordinary volunteers and staff who are here today, some of whom have been with the program since it first began. In fact, our program has more than 100 dedicated volunteers now from the Trinity congregation and the local Camp Hill community who give their time, energy, and hearts to this important work. The program began as an effort to help newcomers learn English, but it has quickly grown into a vital community resource. Each year, approximately 300 adult students and 100 babies and children from more than 30 countries come through our program. We support immigrant and refugee families as they build confidence, navigate daily life, pursue employment, and become fully engaged members of the community. The impact has been life-changing for our students and deeply meaningful for our volunteers. Thank you again for this honor and for creating a culture and community within the borough where everyone can feel welcome and has a chance to thrive.
Laura, if you would like the box to put the award in, just don't forget it. Okay. Audrey, do you need any other pictures at this time? No, okay. You're welcome to come back then. Okay?
They laugh.
Okay. We will move on with the remainder of our business this evening, turning to our manager for her manager's report.
Good evening. I recently participated in 2 half-day training sessions, which were presented by the Pennsylvania Municipal League. This was for human resources training. Topics included creating an engaged workplace, conducting an HR audit, maintaining personnel files, anticipating the impact of AI on workflows, and adapting to new employee rights laws. I'm working with a team of managers to establish a Pennsylvania chapter of Women Leading Government. The chapter would be a subsidiary of the Association of Pennsylvania Municipal Managers. The program provides a way for women in local government to connect, network, and become more effective leaders. There are chapters of Women Leading Government in about 20 other states, but the initiative has not yet been implemented in Pennsylvania. So we are not going to be the last to do this. The only other thing I wanted to comment was on our special events, particularly those that took place over the last week, more than a week. I would like to formally commend the borough staff for their work on holiday and year-end projects and events. Camp Hill's staff members are extraordinarily hardworking, creative, and motivated to accomplish their goals. I am so proud of our team, and special events offer the chance for the public to see them in action. Thanks also to all the volunteers and students who provide extra support for events. And in honor of the holiday, I've decided to close the office on December 24th and 25th for the holiday. Thank you.
Sarah, is there a mayor's report on his behalf in his absence or no? Other than what's included in the packet?
I did not receive
Okay.
anything additional.
Our mayor could not join us this evening. He and Chief Margetson are attending the graduation of our 4 police cadets who are graduating from the academy and who will soon be serving our community. So we congratulate them and look forward to having them serving with us. Next, our engineer's report.
Good evening, everyone. I have 2 items here from Mike's report to discuss this evening. The first of those was submitted for the statewide local share account grant program on November 26th, and that is for the design work involved with pedestrian improvements along Cumberland Boulevard from Logan Street to about Creston Road and 18th Street. One thing I do want to point out there is that is actually a submission that the borough had put in last year's round. We are still waiting on that award. There was a meeting here in December. Everyone thought we were going to get some news. That did not happen, so the next meeting for that group will be in January. So we will keep our eyes on that for hopefully some good news there.
Okay, can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
There was an action item last month, right? So we already authorized you to submit. Have you submitted it, or are you waiting?
Yes, it was submitted on November 26th. And then the second thing was the 19th Street Townhome project. They are at the final completion stage, and our guys were out, took a look, everything is in order, and we would have one request for an action item for you folks this evening would be the request for the release of the remaining financial security in the amount of $2,475. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on then to our consent agenda. Is there a motion and a second to consider the consent agenda as presented?
So moved.
Emily moves, Emily seconds. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The consent agenda is adopted unanimously. Next, that brings us to reports on committees and liaisons this evening, beginning with Tim with Public Safety.
Thank you. There was no regular scheduled meeting for the month of November for public safety. There was, however, a special meeting held on November the 5th, where the main topic was micromobility around Camp Hill. The chief, along with some of his staff, along with the school district superintendent and some of his staff attended and presented. The outcome of that meeting was to essentially continue with regard to the Commonwealth guidance on e-scooters and e-bikes, in that e-scooters are unregulated. Camp Hill will not make any other judgment in that regard. And therefore, the chief, and along with the rest of his department, will come back at our next regularly scheduled meeting for public safety to lay out the initial ideas of a plan for some preliminary enforcement. And so that next meeting will be sometime next week. There is a schedule change, so that date and time will be posted on the web as soon as it is available.
So it will not be on the Thursday?
It will not be on the Thursday, that's right. And then secondarily, there is on the agenda tonight the consideration of the resolution to promulgate the emergency management plan, along with the consideration for resolution to adopt the Cumberland County Hazard Mitigation Plan. That's my report.
Any questions?
Did Louisa have one, or is it just me? Okay.
Tim, when will you know the date of the meeting?
I will know the date of the meeting when the rest of the membership is able to respond on their availability.
Tim, I just wanted to kind of get I feel like it's always up in the air about whether they're legal or illegal, and I just wanted to state that they are not permitted on, the scooters are not
I know this
permitted
was also discussed in planning and zoning, so Tim's welcome to respond, but I know you had provided some commentary during planning and zoning as well in terms of the legal gray area.
So because of the definition of vehicle under the vehicle code, a non-pedal assist, so a scooter or bike that is propelled purely on battery, is technically a vehicle under the vehicle code. And because they can't be inspected and registered because they don't have VIN numbers, they aren't legally operated on public streets. So that's the current state of the vehicle code, or sidewalks.
But the state and the Senate is looking at rules or guidelines.
I would say legislation has been introduced. Whether or not that moves through the process is another.
Whether or not they're looking at it.
There are bills filed. They may or may not be considered. And I just speak of that because I follow them for other reasons.
But planning and zoning is not taking this up because it's settled right now at the state level.
Michelle, we can discuss later. We can give you more information.
Okay, that brings us then to Public Works. Louisa?
Okay. Public Works met on December 3rd, and I have a most unusual Public Works report because we do not have any action items. I know, right? It's a holiday. I know. Also, the meeting was the shortest Public Works meeting ever. I think it took about 27 minutes. So that was another record. Okay, so what did we talk about? The next Public Works meeting will be on January 22nd. So that is a Thursday. So Thursday, January the 22nd at 8 a.m. And so because of that, there will be no Public Works meeting between this council meeting and the January council meeting. So there will be no Public Works report for the January council meeting. But if there are any action items, they can be just put Okay, HRG has been working on their report on the flood mitigation for Harvard Run, also known as Braemar Road area. This is a project that the Stormwater Authority asked them to do, and according to Mike, the report will be finished sometime in February. One easement has been obtained for that area, so Public Works can do maintenance on the existing stormwater infrastructure. 2 more easements are needed. The work on the Creek Road pump station is continuing, and pedestrians are urged to continue to stay away from the area during work hours. The trail will be open evenings and weekends, but when there's active work going on, the public needs to stay out of the area for safety reasons. We had a first snow event on December 2nd, which was complicated by a lot of leaves that people raked on the street over Thanksgiving weekend. The leaves are still there. It is unclear whether Public Works will be able to collect them or not. It depends on the weather. Leaves cannot be collected if they're frozen or if they're wet. The stop sign at Russell Road and Country Club Road has garnered mostly positive responses, and since it's been over 30 days since installation, the temporary stop ahead signs have been removed. And that is my whole report for Public Works.
And just a comment, the leaves weren't collected on that Monday like we all thought because it was a day off.
Because it was a day off for
Right.
Public Works staff, because it's the Monday after Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Some leaf sweeping has occurred since, though. I see
I think
Lester shaking his
They
head.
got all of them today.
Yeah.
Please do not put any more leaves out till next year. Done with leaves. Thank you.
Yeah, rake them back on your flower beds.
Okay. Next, Community and Business Relations. Michelle?
So Community and Business Relations met on Tuesday, November 18th, and discussed at the meeting were the exciting events the DCHA has been having, such as the Harvest Hop and the always popular Farmers Market. Social media interactions continue to grow thanks to Beth's work on that, and continue to like, share, and comment on the posts. We also discussed continuing informal chats with council in the future and how to publicize them so more people are aware and come out. And don't forget to sign up for the monthly e-digest so you're up to date on what's going on in our neighborhood. That's me.
Thank you. Moving on to Parks and Recreation. Emily?
First of all, great job, Audrey. What an amazing weekend. You did an awesome job. Everything on my recreation report was written prior to the last weekend when everything was crazy. So let me just say, let me run down a couple people to thank for this. Mid-Penn Bank was gracious enough to host everyone from the holiday tree lighting for hot chocolate cookies and apparently free chicken fingers, which, I mean, like, there was a food truck. It was awesome. All the kids had a great time. I had the best time, and I had to leave early, but I had the best time at the tree lighting. It was so good, even if it was freezing outside. And then the Parade of Lights for Toys for Tots was on Friday and Saturday last weekend. It was awesome. So thank you to the Marines. I know Audrey sent a message and said how many boxes that were collected, and it was a lot, 50. And special thank you to First Commonwealth Bank for their partnership in that event. and also to Mount Calvary Episcopal Church for opening their doors for hot chocolate and cookies, as well as music, which that's just added so much to the event. It's so awesome. Also, some of us Borough Council elves were out amongst the neighborhoods over the last couple days, seeing all of the beautiful lights on everyone's houses. So great job, Camp Hill. It looks beautiful out there. We've submitted and judged our favorites. It's a complex process that we go through every year, and it is now complete, and Audrey and Mayor Simpson are going to go out tomorrow to award prizes to the winners. So stay tuned for that on Facebook. What else? There's so much on here. There are some new courses that the borough is offering this year. One of them is an AARP Smart Driving class. It's an 8-hour course broken into 4-hour classes, 2 4-hour classes. And that's going to be on January 20th and 21st. So go to the website. Go to the website to check that out. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about Parks and Rec except, like, we're so lucky to have Audrey. I don't know how she even warms up after spending so much time outside. We have one action item, which is not on this list. We have one action item, and that is to consider a request to install a bench in Beverly Park in memory of Mike Robinson.
Any questions? Okay. That brings us next then to administration and finance. In Mercedes' absence is either. Oh, I'm sorry. Planning and zoning. Sorry, Tom.
Skip me.
Skipping you.
You'll note in your packet that Colton responded this past month to 163 calls and complaints, sent 165 emails, inspected 139 residential units, made 500 calls, and issued 33 building zoning, dumpster, stormwater, sign, and shade tree permits. The committee itself met Friday, November 21st. We had a fair number of citizen attendees, in particular commenting on the e-bike, e-scooter issues. We heard both sides. We also had a comment about code enforcement in floodplains, which was a little complicated. The committee itself then briefly took on the issue of the complexity of the issues around e-scooters, e-bikes, and other electric-driven devices that we now see on our streets and sidewalks. The committee intends to take on some of these issues, particularly around e-bikes, in early 2026, and I'm pleased that we will have 2 serious bicyclists on the committee who can take part in that effort. And as has been clarified, the e-scooter situation is not at this point a local issue. So we'll see what the state does, but right now they're determined to be illegal. We continue to move forward on efforts to clarify ways that citizens can ask for traffic calming measures. We're working on trying to get a flow chart together, because what we discovered was that there already was a fairly systematic way in which requests are answered, and in ways that are consistent with PennDOT standards. And as noted, then we hope to have a flow chart, and we'll look at the best way to present that. In a resolution, it might not need an ordinance, but we do want to have clarity about how people can ask for and have those requests managed in a systematic way. We continue to work on an updated peddlers and solicitor ordinance with input from the chief, who'd like to stop it. But then we got input from legal, and we are looking at a little more restrictive measure that we will get together and be able to present to council next time we'll try to get it to you to look at, and then if everything looks okay, then we'll advertise it and proceed. We also are working on this complex matter of parking requirements for businesses and residences and so on. It really is a pretty complex issue, and we're looking at getting on that earlier in 2026 as well. We want to be supportive to businesses. We don't want to hurt residences, to have people parking around their homes. So we're looking at a way to walk that line. Colton continues to work on rental inspections, did a nice job this past month. I think things are going well. And I'm very pleased that we're doing that. And he's also working on preparing people for sidewalk repairs, which is a big deal. I think letters went out way ahead of time. And we have two action items, one that overlaps with engineering. First of all, we want to consider the conditional approval of the ADM Mills final land development plan that was presented last time, reviewed by engineering, and we should have that, I think it's ready to be voted on tonight, right? And then, as already mentioned, we want to vote on releasing the final $2,475 for the 19th Street Townhouse project. And that's my report, except to mention that we're going to meet again in a week, Friday, December 19th at 8:15. And thank you.
Thank you. I have one question. Can somebody please remind me, what are the conditions upon which we are being asked to approve the plan? Are those items listed as adjusted with modification, or?
Yes, so the number of waiver requests there, that will be part of that, as well as, I believe there was just a single comment or two, as well as the operation and maintenance agreement that was in our letter on November 11th.
Okay. And what happens with all those things that are marked as to be withdrawn?
Those would just go away. The vast majority of those are due to the fact that the submission is a minor stormwater permit, and that then has reduced requirements and many ordinance sections that do not apply. Those waiver requests that we indicated should be withdrawn are within all those sections that do not apply to their plan.
Okay. Any questions from anyone else? No? Okay. All right, thank you. Now, moving on, is there anyone offering a report on Mercedes' absence?
I can do that.
Thank you.
Administration and Finance gets all the fun this month. Lots of things to tie up our end of the year budget year action items. So first, we have an ordinance to amend the non-uniform pension plan. This is one of our 3 pension plans, and if we deviate from our existing plan, the Pennsylvania Retirement Service, okay. The retirement organization that provides our retirement plans, PMRS, thank you, requires us to pass an ordinance to deviate from the plan. So because we do not require contribution for those employees involved in the N1 plan, that would be the ordinance, and that has been properly advertised since the last meeting. We have our 2026 budget. We have all of the funds listed there for the adoption of that budget. You can see in the packet, and it's available online and will continue to be available online, that we do have a budget narrative that can, if anyone has not been following along, you can learn more about how we got to this point with the budget, and some of the highlights of the budget are included in that narrative. And I think that is in your packet on the table right now, if you have any questions about that. Annually, we have to adopt a resolution to set taxes, and then we also have to adopt a resolution to set fees for 2026. Those are both generally administrative actions that happen every year. There is no tax increase intended in 2026. There's also a resolution, you might recall, we've been working with the special counsel through the CAPCOG. Many municipalities went in together to contract with a solicitor to negotiate a beneficial contract with Verizon for their franchise fee. They have to pay us for the right to use our rights of way. So will be adopted via a resolution to approve the execution of that agreement. We also instituted a plan or an ordinance in 2023 that allows a compensation of up to $250 for active firefighters. And these volunteer firefighters are certified by the fire chief as having met a certain number of hours of service, and that can be any kind of active firefighting or administrative work for the fire company. So I believe we have four firefighters. We're not going to include their names, but the action is to approve them getting an earned income tax credit. And that is intended to serve as an incentive for people to get involved with the Camp Hill Volunteer Fire Company. We also have the meeting calendar, and this is just for the general meetings of boards and commissions that are already set. We will do a separate advertisement once council committees are set, but the calendar that you will see or that you can review in your packet and that will be posted online is to be adopted this evening and will be advertised as such. And finally, we included in the packet and for your review here on the table a letter that the committee is interested in having included with the January utility bills. It primarily focuses on the change to two fees that are charged through the utility bill. One is an increase in the fee for the stormwater. The Stormwater Authority met for far longer than they should have yesterday. Sorry if any of them are here listening. Stormwater Authority met and had a spirited debate on what the letter should look like and what kind of language we should use in it so as to be very informational to the public, not confusing to the public. So there's a significant, I would say, increase in the fee for a variety of reasons, primarily because we're looking at $2 million, $3 million, $4 million projects that are potentially coming up over the next 5 years, and we need to be setting funds aside for that. So that's one of the pieces of information that would be shared in the letter that would go in the utility bills. The other piece of information is that we all already know this. The trash and recycling fee each year goes up by 6%. And so the fees will increase on April 1st, 2026. So that information is also included in that letter. So I would welcome if you have any comments or questions. Probably the other members of the committee can answer as well as I can.
Are we receiving and thanking the Stormwater Authority for their comments, or is the intention to revise the letter based on their comments?
I mean, since the committee won't meet again, do you want to walk through? They had a couple suggestions that we could
No,
discuss.
I would rather we defer to you and
Okay.
not get into the
Okay.
wordsmithing of the letter.
I would say their
but-
suggestions were worthwhile for the letter.
Okay.
It mostly involved font and tables and order of sentence.
I feel like that's the wrong committee for that to be happening on.
It was a good meeting.
But you will find a good balance between acceptable comments to consider, because those type of comments
What type of comments?
I think those type of comments should be the prerogative of the entity that's actually sending it.
Yes.
If there's like substantive, like technical
Yeah.
comments that need to be
We made that
improved
clear.
upon.
We made that clear that this is a letter of council,
of council.
not a
correct.
letter of the Stormwater Authority. So they were providing input, but that will be council's prerogative. And this would be included in the January utility bill. So we do have a little bit of time. That goes out on January 15th. So even in the new year, we have a little bit of time, not a lot of time because they have to go to the printer, but to further refine the letter if people look
Because
at it.
in addition, and I know you can speak to this, right, it's stormwater. I mean, they still do intend to provide an informative document
That's correct.
presentation on the website.
That's correct. There will be a lot of information on the website.
Don't need to debate the wording of the letter.
No, I just wanted to
No.
make sure that you were comfortable with it.
And they all understand that
Yes.
this is
So council can authorize Sarah to finalize the.
correct.
Sure. Yeah, that would be great. I don't know if we need an action.
No,
for
I
that.
just, yeah, that there's something on the website, and not everything that's going on the website needs to be incorporated into
Correct.
the letter. The letter is supposed to be plain, simple, easy to understand, and informative.
That's correct.
Okay,
It will be a one-page letter.
okay, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, moving on. Liaison reports, correct? Beginning, Tim, there.
Yep, thanks. There was no meeting in the month of November. The next scheduled meeting is January 28th in the District Administration Building at 6 p.m. Thanks.
Louisa with Stormwater.
As Sarah just mentioned, the Stormwater Authority met yesterday, and as Sarah just mentioned, there was a spirited discussion. As we had previously discussed, or as they had previously discussed, there will be a 30% fee increase. There was a formal vote yesterday. The fee increase passed 4-1. So the 30% fee increase, it sounds scary. It's not. The stormwater fee is very low at present, depending on what tier you are. I'm tier 1, I pay $17.50 quarterly. Most households are tier 2, I think it's like 22 something dollars, and that fee will increase a couple dollars quarterly. So there might or might not be a table in that letter that will detail that increase. But it's really not a large increase in dollar amounts. And it only covers inflation. So if if the Stormwater Authority wants to pursue the necessary stormwater infrastructure project, they will need to, excuse me, they will need to raise the fee again, so we don't need to finance all of the projects with borrowing, which would really mean more financial burden on the public, because somebody needs to pay the interest for the borrowing. Anyways, as we just went over, the Stormwater Authority is also preparing, or Sarah is preparing for them. Kind of quiet over there. Sarah is preparing a PowerPoint presentation on behalf of the Stormwater Authority that will explain all of this and the reason for the Stormwater Authority and the reason for the stormwater fee in detail. And that PowerPoint presentation will be posted on the website for the public to access. Questions? Whispers?
All right, thank you. We'll pass over the junior council member report, so we'll next turn to the Sustainability Committee liaison.
Yes, the committee met November 13th. It was noted that Sarah continues to work on data collection that would document changes in use of fossil fuels. I think there was some preliminary glancing at some of the data, UGI or PPL, that did show some decrease, so that was very encouraging. No progress was noted on approval from the PUC on the Community Choice Aggregation Program. I got the G this time.
Got it right, yeah.
My last chance in the year. No update yet on borough solar panels or improved windows that we want to have installed, but it will happen in 2026. Okay, so we'll keep an eye on that. We discussed ways to encourage residents to obtain free energy audits that would suggest ways that residents could decrease home use of energy and save money. And then it was noted, I don't know if we talked about this before, that Sarah did a podcast. Did we talk about that in the last meeting? Okay. With Nancy Hess on sustainability and stormwater management. Did you? Still available. The committee is not meeting in December, but we'll meet again January 8th at 1 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Emily?
Downtown Camp Hill Association. First, a couple things about events that have happened and will be happening. Thank you to all the visitors for an amazing candy cane walk. If you remember, that was before Thanksgiving? Yeah, that was right before Thanksgiving. It's all blurring together at this point. Many businesses reported that it was their best day of 2025 in terms of business, which is amazing, especially since it's on a Sunday. Whether you hosted an activity, offered specials, donated resources, or simply welcomed visitors with your signature hospitality, it was a vibrant, memorable day downtown. So that was that event, and then the dates have been set for the Downtown Camp Hill Association events for 2026. The Spring Fling is going to be on April 11th. The Plein Air Art Walk is May 16th. The Harvest Hop will be October 17th. Candy Cane Walk will be November 22nd. Small Business Saturday will be November 28th. And the Market on Market Farmers Market will begin its new season on May 12th. Other than that, the Downtown Camp Hill Association has been doing a vigorous amount of research and has been in contact with the Parking Reform Network to learn more about parking regulations and land development, which I think is fascinating because this is something that Downtown Camp Hill Association this was not part of their purview before. It was always events. And they've put a significant amount of effort into learning more so that they can make suggestions about what would be great for the business owners in downtown Camp Hill. So I think that some of them will be coming to the Planning and Zoning Committee meeting to suggest things coming up next week. Other than that, I think they're looking forward to another great year.
Thank you, Emily. Michelle, then with the next three reports, please.
I was going to say, I think I have a question for Emily.
Okay.
And
I'm ready.
it could even be for you, Sarah, because I thought that we were putting the parking into the comprehensive plan.
Yeah, regardless, it's an edit of the zoning ordinance, so you would have to change the zoning ordinance. So
Right.
it's section 9 of the zoning ordinance,
It's very
chapter
But
9.
I meant
It's very
timing-wise.
complex. We're going
Timing-wise, the
to
comprehensive-
prioritize it.
Yeah, the comprehensive plan won't be done till spring 2027, which is a long time from now. So it's, if it's just this one section of the zoning ordinance, it's not,
Doesn't go against comprehensive.
no, it
It's just
could
the part that's
inform
getting
it.
picked out because it's a priority.
It's just getting edited, yes. I
Okay.
mean, like, essentially, the idea is that when business owners downtown want to redevelop a property, we have very restrictive parking requirements. And so we're looking at that for various reasons, like stormwater management actually comes into play in
Right.
that, because you don't want a lot of paved parking everywhere, because then there's more stormwater problems, more stormwater fees, all of that. And, yeah, so there's plenty to look at on it. And the business owners are concerned because it makes it harder to draw new businesses downtown.
Right, if they're
Yeah.
limited in that.
Yeah. Yeah,
No, I
it's
know.
definitely already
I
not
just-
happened overnight.
I was just
It's already
wondering
been
if it was
6
kinda
months or
being-
something that we've been talking.
It's very complex,
Yeah,
but planning and
That is your
zoning.
thing.
Yeah.
But
they
just
say-
I
Planning and
noticed that
zoning
we've
is
all been
committed to
talking
look at
about.
it. So,
we've all
and
been
we're looking
talking about
forward to the
parking.
presentation on
Yeah.
Friday.
Will still be in the comprehensive plan.
yeah. It's just, you don't have, like, the comprehensive plan is like this. overarching thing. Do you know what I mean? And parking is something that you would then, if you were to say, we would like there to be less, required
Fewer
parking.
required parking spaces.
Like, if you said that in the comprehensive plan, then you would go back to the zoning ordinance to modify it for something like that. But there's nothing saying that you have to
Right,
wait for a new comprehensive plan.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Speaking of the comprehensive plan, Sarah, can you just share with us the work that the planning and zoning, or which committee versus what the planning commission will do with regard to that
So
work?
we will have a consultant that will guide us through this, so we don't have to rely on our own Googling and my minimal planning knowledge to get through the process. And it's also helpful to have someone come from outside that has a new look at things. And we hope to get funding for the plan that was supposed to be announced last week. With all the budget delays at the state, that has been extended, and they have not told us exactly when that announcement will be made. But they did tell us, don't worry, we still have your application, and they're just not announcing it for anyone yet. So optimistically, we will receive funding from the state and possibly some additional funding from the county. The consultant will then lead a cooperative process that will involve a steering committee and members of the public, probably an open house, kind of brainstorming sessions. And then that process will be overseen possibly by the Planning and Zoning Committee, possibly by the Community and Business Development Committee. It kind of is up to the new council, but generally there'll be a steering committee that is solely focused on creating the comprehensive plan. Once the comprehensive plan is nearing completion, it goes to the Planning Commission, our Planning Commission, as well as the County Planning Commission. They both need to review it. Generally speaking, municipalities have their planning commissions take a preliminary review, and then there's a required, when the council would like to begin actually adopting it, there's a formal step that it goes to both the county and local planning commissions. They would make their recommendation, then it comes to council for a formal vote and advertisement and presentation. So that's the general flow of it, and that's why it takes a long time.
Sarah, which committee will select the consultant?
I mean, the full council will have to make the final selection. The new council can debate a little bit as to which committee will bring that, review the proposals from the consultants and bring a recommendation to the full council. No, that would be professional services, so you could approve that just the way we approve professional services for HRG's work, for example.
But in terms of the debate?
If there's debate, you could have it during the council meeting or during the committee meeting. I would say let's wait and see who actually applies to do this. I think you'll be pleased with the proposals. There's a lot of really good consultants out there that do this kind of work.
Thank you.
So another comment. In the meantime, now this process will take time, but if there are any immediate needs, there is the possibility of asking for a variance.
Yes.
So that should be on the table for people that have some immediate needs
Yes, yes.
for a project, yes.
Yes, there are options if you read the zoning code. There are options depending on what thing it is, which area of town it's in, what zoning classification it is in, whether you have to get a special exception, or whether you get a variance, or whether you get a conditional approval. All of those are going to continue to be available, yes.
Always contact Colton.
And and Colton will know generally which one is available to you.
Okay.
All right.
Now I'm ready?
Yes,
You guys
go
ready?
ahead.
Okay. So Frederickson Library, along with all of their regular events, have added some fun holiday events to their calendar. Tomorrow, Open Stage is having a family-friendly adaptation of A Christmas Carol. It is free, and at 7 p.m., it begins at 7 in the community room. Excuse me. On Mondays from 4 to 5 p.m., 5 to 8-year-olds can create gifts to give at Santa's Workshop, which is in the library as well. Craft supplies are provided. Harps and Handbells is being held on Monday, December 15th at 6:30, and not holiday related, but equally exciting, is the Music of Tom Waits on Friday, December 12th at 6:30 p.m. And while Tom Waits has written more than 800 songs, the presentation will focus on 25 of his most compelling. And that's at the library? Yeah, free. All the events are free. Tom Waits himself will not be there.
It's a presentation about him.
It's a presentation. And the professor who is bringing it said that they're going to listen to some songs, people can sing along. It's Friday, we should all go.
At what time?
6:30. Okay. Do you want me to keep going? Okay, CABCOG, which this is lengthy. So they had a speaker from Tri-County Regional Planning Commission, and they are asking for input on several surveys from everybody. One of them is the Capital Region Mobility Plan Survey, and then the Regional Growth Management Plan 2050. We're on 2050 planning survey. And with the National Electric Vehicle Infrastructure Program, PennDOT is conducting a survey to determine where EV charging stations would be most beneficial. So all these surveys can be found on the Tri-County Regional Planning Commission website. And then also at the meeting, Cumberland County Commissioner Eichelberger reported that the state budget has passed, but there were not the increases that the county was hoping for. Specifically, they asked for an increase in the 911 surcharge. He reported that most of the P25 radio program is completed, and the start date is tentatively February of 2026. Cumberland County Commissioner Niederer reported that the election on November 4th was fair, accurate, and safe. And she also explained that they'd hoped for the increase to the 911 surcharge from $1.95 to $2.20, mostly to help with the $2.2 million debt that is a result of the radios. So the P25 radio project, as you guys I know all remember, began in 2016 to replace the aging public safety radio program that's been in place since 1989. It was projected to be completed in 2024, so that it will be done in February 26 is exciting. So Cumberland County is joining Dauphin, Adams, and Franklin counties to make up the South Central Inter-County Communications Network. It's the SCIC net. Yeah. Okay, that's my report on CAPCOG. They also set out their meetings and raised their membership fee, but we won't talk about that. Birdtown would like to thank everyone for their support during our inaugural year. We hope that you'll stay in touch with Camp Hill Birdtown as we continue to make environments for birds and people healthier and more sustainable. You can find us on the borough website, Facebook, and our minutes will continue to be in the council packet.
Thank you. Okay, that brings us to our second period of public comment. Is there anyone wishing to offer public comment at this time? No? Okay. There will be one last opportunity if you change your mind. That will bring us to our final action items for the evening. Okay. Beginning with item 12A. Is there a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2025-15 to promulgate the Emergency Management Plan?
So moved. Second.
Michelle moves, Emily seconds. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes unanimously. Is there a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2025-16 to adopt the Cumberland County Hazard Mitigation Plan?
So moved.
Michelle moves, Tim seconds. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes unanimously. Moving on, is there a motion and a second to approve a request to install a bench in Beverly Park in memory of Mike Robinson?
So moved.
Emily moves, Michelle seconds. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes unanimously. Is there a motion and a second to approve the ADM Mills final land development plan contingent on the modifications and conditions of the HRG review letter number 3 dated November 11th, 2025? Tom moves, Louisa seconds. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes unanimously. Is there a motion and a second to approve the release of the remaining financial security for the 19th Street Townhouse project in the amount of $2,475?
Second.
Tom moves, Emily seconds. Is there any discussion? The motion passes unanimously. Is there a motion?
We didn't vote.
Oh, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
That's why I'm VP.
The motion passes unanimously. Somehow in my head, just like fast forwarded. Thank you. Is there a motion and a second to adopt ordinance 2025-06 to amend the non-uniform pension plan?
So moved. Second.
Emily moves, Michelle seconds. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes unanimously. Is there a motion to adopt the 2026 budget?
So moved.
Emily moves, Louisa seconds. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes unanimously. Is there a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2025-17 to set taxes for 2026?
So moved. Second.
Emily moves, Michelle seconds. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes unanimously. Is there a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2025-18 to set fees for 2026? Tom moves, Louisa seconds. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes unanimously. Is there a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2025-19 to authorize the execution of a cable franchise agreement between the Borough and Verizon Pennsylvania LLC?
So moved. Second.
Michelle moves, Emily seconds. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes unanimously. Is there a motion and a second to approve the earned income tax credit for active volunteer Camp Hill firefighters in accordance with Ordinance 2023-07?
So moved.
Emily moves, Tim
Tim.
seconds. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes unanimously. And our very last motion and action item. Is there a motion and a second to approve the 2026 meeting calendar?
So moved.
Emily moves.
Second.
Michelle seconds. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion passes unanimously. All right, that brings us to our very final period of public comment.
Wouldn't be a meeting without me. Rich Mance, 2000 Princeton. Two quick things. Unfortunately, the mayor's not here, but I would like to thank him and the fire department for Santa on the fire truck. I post to social media, and my friends from around the country always think that it's great. Next thing, thank everybody for their year in service. Your people, the council members that are not returning, thank you for your service. You did get lucky. You didn't have any major issues that involved raw or cooked chicken. Living or cooked chicken, I should say.
I know all about that, Rich. I know all about it. Thank you. Anyone else? No. Alrighty. Are there any closing remarks by council?
I have a couple.
Can we start?
You start?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
let's do that.
I would like to thank Jennifer and Emily and Mercedes for their service, and you will be missed. And thank you for your advice and guidance.
Thank you.
I will ditto that. I appreciate all the years of service and welcome again, Michelle, with the new council. And thank you for your service, along with both of you and Mercedes, who could not be here tonight.
So I get a chance to say something. I have to say how impressed I have been with the 3 vacating council members. I served with Emily on zoning, and her contributions were invaluable. And we will miss you. Jennifer, I am really pleased with the way you've run these meetings very efficiently and down to business, and I think you've made tremendous contributions. And certainly Mercedes, we will miss as well. But thank you all for your service, and I hope we can step up and do as well as you guys have done, or gals, excuse me. Thank you.
Okay. So next month, we'll be welcoming 3 new council members, Tia Wolf, Richard Forsman, and Kevin Mock. And I am excited to work with them for the betterment of Camp Hill. And I will really miss Emily and Jennifer and Mercedes, because we started on council together and we found that we had many of the same goals. We focused on being transparent and communicating with residents, responding quickly to everyone, and finding ways to lessen the disruption of the Cumberland County bypass in our community, which is still a work in progress, but we're making progress. I really appreciate your consideration and your passion for our home, and I'd like to sincerely thank each one of you for your time, your dedication, representing us all, and I wish you the very best going forward.
That was too much for Michelle.
I know. Because I've been sitting here going like, what do you mean you're leaving? So
I'll still be.
I forgot about the bridge thing.
Yeah, I know. Step 1, Sue PennDOT.
Welcome.
Yeah. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, all of you. That was all such lovely words. We have had a fantastic time serving on council. We were lucky enough to get elected and create the first all-female municipal board in Pennsylvania ever, which was such an honor, and it was so awesome. And to have a female borough manager, and I mean, we've just been adding women, sorry, gentlemen on the stage, no offense, but it was such an honor to be able to do that and to be able to make such a difference in our community. We sued PennDOT and we won. That was awesome. Thanks to our solicitor. Thanks, Lee.
But thanks to Elizabeth, because
Yes.
she's still on that woman thing.
Yes. Thank you too. The other thing I want to say is, like, Sarah has been the most amazing borough manager. When she sat us down 4 years ago and was like, "What do you want to do?" And I was like, alleys and golf carts and a trolley.
Yes.
I get a trolley 1 day a year, but that is the only of the 3 things that I have actually accomplished. Luckily, many other things have happened.
But you set the wheels in motion.
I have tried, yes. Yeah, we created Miracle on 24th Street, right out of the gate. I hope everyone loves that event. I am not leaving that event behind. I have asked to continue on that subcommittee because I want to see that flourish in Camp Hill forever, because it feels like Camp Hill to me. Thank you, Audrey. I never knew before I was on council how much work you do. Even with my daughter going to summer camp, even with having pool memberships, I had no idea. You're a Camp Hill treasure, even if you don't live in the borough. And Jennifer. You don't even know what I'm going to say. I don't know what I'm going to say either. No, you have been an amazing president of council. I am so impressed by your abilities to wrangle everyone. So thank you for putting in the work, and I know you're continuing on various committees and commissions, so thank you for your continued service. I'll be probably continuing on various committees and commissions as well. And yes, thank you, all of you, for being here tonight.
Thank you, everyone. Again, I just want to thank everyone for the opportunity to serve alongside you. And I know. To our staff, who really do all the work. Yeah. I mean, I've always said I thought Borough Council, our purpose was to serve at the strategic policy-like level and to help and be supportive to our staff who really do the hard work. And no matter the committee, you know, I've always thought it very important that we listen to them and appreciate what they have to offer. And likewise with our engineer and those who help us. You know, we have them for a reason and we should rely upon them as they try and guide us in our decisions. So I hope that continues. Congratulations to Michelle and to our new members in 2026. I know you'll do great things. Thank you. Okay.
Now what?
Now, happy holidays, happy New Year, and on behalf of us, we wish you peace, happiness, love, grace, gratitude, and be of good cheer. Thank you. There being no other business, we will adjourn.